I wanted to update on some very recent news. You may have heard yesterday that the federal government reversed the previous guidance that had been provided to colleges and universities and schools regarding the protection of transgendered individuals and their access to restrooms. Frankly, speculation is also rampant in the higher ed press about a possible lessened emphasis by the federal government on other aspects of Title IX compliance as well. I just want to assure the board that regardless of what the federal government is forcing us to do through their compliance requirements, this is something that UH is committed to. We have done a lot of work over the past 3 years on Title IX and Violence Against Women Act compliance. With continued financial support, we have absolutely no intention of retreating from any of that progress we have made. We are committed for our reasons to equity and safety for all the members of our community. More specifically, independent of the guidance that had been offered by the last administration that was revoked yesterday, UH was already committed to our LGBTQ plus community on matters of restroom access and more. We had implemented a preferred name policy last year. I think I had updated you on that. Was something that our LGBTQ plus commission helped us with, and we're also in the process now of a policy that assures access to restrooms based on gender identity, and also to the construction of gender-neutral restrooms or identification, if there aren't any available, construction with new projects when we are either doing new or renovated projects. So I do want to think we have a strong and helpful LGBTQ plus commission at the system level, and they provide thoughtful, consistent, and firm pressure on us at all times to keep them in mind and keep their rights in mind. I want to mention a great opportunity I had earlier this month to visit at Nanakuli High School. This was with the Maunakea Scholars program. This is an intriguing program that was developed initially by the Canada-France-Hawaii telescope, and it helps Hawaii's young astronomers, high school age, by competitively allocating observing time on Mauna Kea's telescopes, the best telescopes in the world, for high school students based on competitive proposals for actual science experiments. We think this is the first of its kind internationally that uses actual world-class telescopes for the direct education and research by high school students. Earlier this month, Superintendent Kathy Matayoshi and I participated in the announcement of the winners at Nanakuli High School. We had 5 entrants. Some were teams and some were individuals. 2 were selected. I'll just mention them so you can get a feel for it. Jasmine Atcherson will study a rogue planet using the GNIRS instrument at Gemini Observatory. She'll be using the world's most sensitive infrared telescope to measure the composition of this free-floating planet's atmosphere. Amber Nakata will research an eclipsing black hole binary system with the Espadona instrument on the CFHT telescope. She's the first Maunakea scholar to receive 3 observing runs. That was necessary for the experiment she proposed. These were all peer-reviewed, and she'll be able to monitor the time-varying dynamics of the superheated gas falling into the black hole. So the thing that struck me at Nanakuli, the 2 winners, every finalist on the team, and the astronomy teacher advisor, Chair Sullivan, were all women. The future is bright. The DOE is perhaps our most important external partner in the Hawaii Graduation Initiative. I think you all know that current Superintendent Kathy Matayoshi's time in that position ends on June 30th. We have had a superb working relationship with the current superintendent and her team, and we absolutely intend to have a superb working relationship with the next superintendent. I was invited by the chair of the Board of Education to serve on the search advisory group. That's 12 people who are representatives of teachers, administrators, parents, community members, charter schools, early education, education, military, business, special education, and English learners. Students will be participating separately. This search advisory group will advise the search committee, which is composed of Board of Education members only, and the board has hired a search firm. So we have started working. They have a very ambitious schedule and hope to have somebody on board July 1. So that's tight. I previously reported that the governor had supported about $21 million a year of our roughly $28-29 million a year operating budget increase for the next biennium. It was good news last month. Unfortunately, after the most recent Committee on Revenues report and the news from the employee retirement system, those two incidents painted a much gloomier financial picture for the entire state than when the governor prepared his budget recommendation. He subsequently sent down what a GM or governor's message in which he reduced his budget request. And unfortunately, out of his revised budget request, the only thing that survives of your Board of Regents budget request is the $5 million a year budget augmentation for the Cancer Center. The other items are still part of the board's request. We will continue to advocate for them, but they're no longer part of the executive budget. The governor's CIP request for UH remains the same. That's $150 million in the first year of the biennium. Just a quick legislative update, and I think we'll give you the full story at the next meeting. But we continue to advocate for the budget and our bill package. It is pretty early to project how the budget will turn out on the House side. And the financial optimists among us should note that there is one more Committee on Revenues report due before the end of session, which again causes a scramble, usually for better or for worse. Our bills are generally moving well. I think the attitude is generally positive. Just yesterday, we had a full house for a number of UH bills at the House Finance Committee. Chair Luke was extremely complimentary publicly about the work of the whole UH team on the Hawaii Graduation Initiative and our work to educate more students for the state and moving toward 55 by 25. I will say of our bills, the Hawaii Promise Scholarship Program is probably the shining star. It has been, you will recall that we proposed a pilot project with community colleges, and many legislators have been so taken with this that there are now multiple bills in both chambers looking at both the community college program but also an expanded program for the entire UH system. So we feel pretty good about that, a lot of interest. Two more quick updates, one on the Integrated Academic and Facilities Plan. This is the resolution that was passed by the Board of Regents, asking the administration to look at how we optimize and share facilities and programs across the multiple campuses of the UH system. As you heard this morning, this is not an easy task or necessarily well received as we look at how to optimize ourselves as a system. The task group that you formed has been working hard on this matter. Our current plan is to bring a draft forward from the task group to the full board next month. That is in March. Under the sunshine rules, the board cannot act at that time, but we hope that with the board's input, and that version will also be out for public consultation across the entire university system early next month. We would hope that the board would be ready to act in April with the input from the campus consultation and from the board. Finally, let me note, and you may have noticed that it's in the paper this morning, the first phase of the Culinary Institute of the Pacific on Diamond Head has been completed. That's at the Cannon Club site. We're beginning to celebrate privately with some small groups, including the donors who helped make it possible, next week. Our third-year advanced professional certificate classes will move in the fall, and those are classes that are offered to students from multiple UH Community College campuses, not just Kapiolani Community College. I should mention that this includes our KCC team that just won the gold medal at the American Culinary Federation's regional competition in lovely Joliet, Illinois, home of the state prison. This qualifies them for competition in the national ACF competition in Orlando in July. This third-year certificate, again, the way we work together as a system, feeds into the UH West Oahu Baccalaureate of Applied Science program. So this is the way we leverage facilities and programs across the state. In the meantime, our non-credit programs will be able to start moving in beginning next month, including the very popular Master Chef Series, and we'll have other events there. I'll note that this is just phase one with some of the advanced multifunction and Asian cuisine laboratories, some parking, and really importantly, the infrastructure for the entire project. Unfortunately, we will not be able to begin serving the public with the phase one facilities. Those will remain on the Kapiolani Community College campuses. Phase two thinking is underway, including how to fund it, how to get it planned. But I do want to congratulate Vice President John Morton, who I believe is at the Ways and Means hearing right now. Oh, is back. Thank you. For his persistence. This is another one of those 20-year projects or so that he's been working on since he was at Kapiolani Community College. And Vice President Jan Govea, both of their teams delivered a product we can be proud of, and within the constraints handed to them that changed a lot over the many years this project was in progress. And we'll look forward to having the Regents there for something hopefully this spring.